February 24th, 2020 City Council meeting.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, call the roll, please, Kristina.
Black. Here. Freeman. Erwin.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Sorensen.
Here.
Bayer. Dunckel.
Here. Josh and Jim sent me text messages. Josh is at work. Jim's out of the town in Texas. If there's a motion to excuse those absences.
Motion.
Thank you.
A second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Go to the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Go to the minutes for the February 10th meeting, if there's a motion.
Motion to approve.
Ooh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, seconded by Jeff. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. That'll take us to our presentation, which I don't think you're Jason Wilson.
No. No, I'm the louder, more excitable
There you
version
go.
of Jason Wilson. Hi, I'm Jennifer from Vermont Community College, and I just wanted to stop by on Jason's behalf, who is at a board meeting, and give a presentation on our strategic plan and Mott Strong. There is a bond village coming up on March 10th, and so this is to just give you a little more information about what that is, and what we're doing and what we would be doing with the funding. So, sorry guys, I didn't know you'll all be here. I brought handouts for you too. All right, so, and we have a script, and so I'm gonna follow it mostly. So, MCC, I don't know how much you guys know about the college, but we have a site in Clio, one in Lapeer, one in Fenton, the one downtown, and then we have workforce development in Owasso and in Howell. And we also have workforce development down on Saginaw Street and our new Culinary Arts Institute on Saginaw Street. If you haven't been there, I recommend that you go because it's amazing what they've done down there. So our strategic plan, like 2 years ago, they went to the community, did open forums, did all these things of what our strategic plan should be, right? And then our board set our institutional priorities, and those are diversity, equity, and inclusion, a committed employee culture, a student-centered environment, stewardship and sustainability, compliance, and workforce collaborations and partnerships. And what that turns into is the handy-dandy strategic plan where there are 12 goals, right? And I am not going to read all that stuff to you because you can read. And but the goals are to improve student success, expand support services, maintain a positive work environment, expand professional development opportunities, enhance employee wages and benefits, expand academic course and degree options, enhance teaching methods and modes, expand faculty development, increase workforce partnerships, focus on student career preparation, expand Mott's presence in the community, and increase community engagement and communication. So, what y'all want to know is back here, this page, is how the millage will be used. And what is interesting this time around is that there will not be another election for 10 to 12 years if this passes. And it's an $80 million request. And if it does pass, this is so fun. It will decrease the current millage rate of 0.82 mils to 0.79 mils. And what this funding is used for is capital improvements, like the Culinary Arts Institute downtown. We just redid the library. We're redoing the law enforcement. So we have a LERTA Academy for a police academy in Fenton, so we've redone that. And that's what these funds will be used for, is to continue to enhance the programs at Mott. And with that, I can open it to any questions that you might have.
When was the last millage attempt?
I think it was 7 years ago. I can check to make sure when the last one was.
That was one was approved.
Yes.
Is this pamphlet right here, is this the one, this has been going around for a while, right?
Yeah. So for the last year.
July 1st, 2019.
I'm sorry?
Some attempted things development, implement communication plan by July 1st,
Right.
2019, so it's been going around.
Right, so this is our strategic plan through from 2019 to 2021. So we're about halfway through.
So with some of the millage, I think I saw it in here, we go towards faculty.
For it, some of it is for faculty development and for like space development, because you can't use the funds except for, you know, what's regulated by the state, so, yeah. And if you do have any questions, you have my email address, you can email me. If I don't know, I'll find out. You know who to call, I've been there my entire adult life, so.
Any other questions? Just to make sure, you said this was a proposal for the millage to go down?
I'm sorry?
For the millage to go down from?
So it's a proposal for $80 million, but it will cause the rate to go down
Okay,
if it's approved.
so like a one-time chunk
Right.
is what we're looking at?
Yeah,
Okay,
for the next 10 to 12 years.
yeah, right.
Yeah, so,
80 million doesn't go far over 10 to 12 years.
I'm sorry?
80 million doesn't go far for
It really
school
doesn't.
over 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Guys, have a great night.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, there's no communications tonight. So we'll move to the approval of warrant 20-3, if there's a motion.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion on this motion?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. The water bill for City Hall, Public Works, and Library, that includes sewer. I'm just curious how all three of those combined is less than my water bill is most of the time. For departments 265, 441, and 738. So all three of those combined, which I'm sure all city employees use the restrooms and water.
We're not open 24 hours a day though, like a house would be.
No, I understand that. I'm not open 24 hours a day either. I just, all three of them combined with the use of all employees and everything, how it's less than mine. I only have 2 people in my house. I talked to the mayor about this briefly, and Paul's not here to assist with any question or anything. And I know there were, issues with the meter, but it was confirmed that it's not the meters. And then he had came out to check my meter physically to go downstairs, and then we had the meter changed outside. So I just wonder if maybe there's something not working right for my water bill to be so high continuously for only 2 people being in the house. But like I talked with the mayor, I can discuss it with Paul.
Yeah, just bring it in, we can look at it.
Okay. Maybe we can. I pulled a bunch out tonight from when I first moved
We
in.
can look it up.
Yeah,
You don't have
yeah.
to bring them in, but I mean.
Right, that's what
Yeah.
I figured that. But I would like to be able to look into it and maybe find out why it's so high.
So just to clear this up for me, are you thinking that, is there a possibility that these meters are wrong?
I can't.
Maybe that's too low?
Not confirm nor
Okay.
deny.
All right. Yeah, I got
I'm
you.
just saying, I think this is all on one bill, right? The city hall?
Yeah,
Oh,
for-
City Hall, yes.
So you're talking police department, fire department, administration, everybody?
Right, but the water here is not metered. The bill for City Hall is only for sewer.
So the water here is not metered. Is the water at library metered?
Yes,
Water at public works is metered?
yes. But you
Why isn't
remember,
it
they
metered?
only have bathrooms.
Right. Yeah, they don't have showers and tubs. Understood.
Right.
Well, that'd make a big difference, so
Yeah.
if it's not metered,
Yeah.
that'd make a huge difference.
Right.
Just out of pure ignorance, why wouldn't a city hall be metered? Because it's city hall?
Good question.
Never has been since I've been
Well, I
here.
didn't know
Mr.
if there's a
Shipman,
reason why.
there's a time for
Yeah,
the
I mean,
audience
we
to-
pay the whole bill to the county
Right.
anyways. It all runs through the county master meter. So, they read it and we pay the
The whole bill.
$80,000 that it is every month or whatever it is, but.
But Paul kind of briefly, I guess we never came to a conclusion, but I had a bill one month that was $250 it was either 24 or 254. And he said something obviously messed up.
Right.
And then it would be accredited, and I think the following month was 50. There's just so much fluctuation in the bill, and there's only 2 people there. So,
Yeah, we'll have to
so
look
we can
into
look into it, that'd be
Yep.
great.
As far as City Hall, I mean, Jeff might be able to test this, but it's probably something to do with the fire department being attached to these. You're not gonna
But
want to pay
it's
for
not
it.
metered.
That's why, I'm guessing why it's not. You're not gonna
Well,
want
right,
to 2,000 gallon every
Sure.
time we have to fill up the trucks. You know what I mean?
Understood. That was all I heard.
Any other questions? All right,
Who seconded that? I'm sorry.
it was Sarah and Jeff, right?
No, Mac and
Yeah,
Mac and Jeff.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, call the roll, please.
All right, I have a motion. Oh, I want to note as well, the warrant number isn't 20-3. I gave you amended agenda to fix that. We already approved 03 on the next meeting,
So
last meeting, so it's
what is the correct number?
2004.
Okay, so
It's on your, I got you a new agenda.
I must have an old one.
That's fine. Motion was made by Councilmember Erwin and seconded by Councilmember Roth to approve warrant 20-04 in the amount of $98,531.52. Roth?
Yes.
Sorensen?
Yes.
Black?
Yes.
Irwin?
Yes.
Dunckel.
Yes, motion carries. All right, public comment. If you'd like to speak, just state your name and your address.
Name's Nicholas Shipman, I live at 372 Beach Street, about the water meter, like Mac was saying about the water being high. Well, after seeing the fire department, seeing they shouldn't get charged for the water used for putting fires out. They should have their own separate water intake, and then the whole building should run on a meter. They shouldn't be like together, they should be separated. To me, like Max pretty much mentioned, to me, it seems that all the workers here in the city work in this building are getting free water usage, which is not really unfair for being a resident.
Anything else?
Oh, also the sidewalks, we lived here for 3 years and we haven't seen a single new sidewalk get built. People are forced to walk in the street. Kristina mentioned last year that this year the sidewalks would be completed. I was just wondering if that's gonna happen.
I'm not sure about a timeline with that. I know there is some money for sidewalk improvement though. That was talked about in the budget.
All right. Like what areas of the city of the sidewalk is gonna be completed?
I don't know.
That's it, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, go ahead.
Can I ask him a question?
I'd prefer if you didn't. You could ask me a question.
Okay. He's talking about people walking not on the sidewalk, but in the street. And that's what they do, for the most part. When people are walking, they're not walking on the sidewalk. They're walking on the side of the street, they're walking up, at least in my section. And they put, pardon me? Well, where there are no sidewalks and they can't walk on them, but obviously, but there's not that many of those, especially in our division. They stopped, but they did that more than 50 years ago. But I just wondered, do you see people walking in the street?
2018, I've had groups of kids blocking me from going on the street. There's groups of people that walk on the street. It's more like the sidewalk is the street.
All right, let's not turn this into a discussion. But so you're saying we understand that there's a need for more sidewalks, and even where there is sidewalks, they're still walking in the street. Is that what you're saying, Dorothy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Been doing it forever.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's not the answer, to put more streets in. They need to be stopped and be respectful to the police that they're not, because I've seen them on the hill over here several times. They're not nice to the policemen. And that's not good. But that's the way it's been, and you can put all the sidewalks you want in, and they're still gonna be out in that street.
Anyone else?
They gotta start doing something out on the street. That's it.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you for your comments. Okay, no unfinished business. Go to resolution 20-3, the approval of fire department to purchase 10-year carbon monoxide detectors.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this?
Was there, did the fire department apply for any type of grants or appeasement from state or any other authorities to get additional money for carbon CO2 specifically? And if so, what were the results?
With the community risk reduction team I sit on for the state fire marshal's office, as a whole, the state applied for 2 more grants and been denied on both. We have a 3rd one in the works now to get them, but it's hit or miss on whether or not we,
Did they give a reason why it was denied?
The first time was they didn't have enough data, showing where we were going because it's tied in the fire alarms. This last year when we did installs, we collected a lot more information and provided it to them, and they've been tracking things better, so hopefully this next time they get it, but lots of times with the government, they won't give you like back-to-back grants, so hopefully this time it's actually approved.
Who's doing the grant writing?
Huh?
Who's doing the requests?
For the state?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We just piggyback on them. I have talked to Barb, the lady that did our last grant, and we're trying to work on some things as far as that goes, but it's not a quick process by any means.
Do you feel hopeful about this 3rd one?
Through the state, I'm not sure. I don't know who's writing the grant, and I was kind of surprised that the 2nd one got declined because, like I said, it was tied in the fire alarms, but going back historically, 2017 was a horrible year for fires and deaths. 2018 was a little better, and there was a big push for alarms, and 2019 we're back up over 17 stats, so the need's there, but whether they'll fund it, I don't know.
So what's the outright cost difference in a CO2 to smoke alarm?
For a case of...
Per unit, I guess, if you will.
Off the top of my head, for a case of 30 of them, a $240 difference. So carbon monoxide alarms.
More than smoke detectors?
Yeah. And there's a need for it. We had a family of 5, I believe, in Fenton, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, all passed away. That same year, Doc and myself pulled somebody out of a house on Washington, or Roosevelt, and one of them, they pulled one out, saved one, and another one died. So it's a common occurrence, and it's just, we got free alarms, fire alarms through the Salvation Army, or Red Cross, sorry. It just makes sense to me that if we're gonna be there, install a carbon monoxide alarm.
No, I agree with you. It's an important device in everybody's home. I just got a different theory on things. I guess, my mortgage is recurring, it happens, but nobody helps me pay it. We're fortunate enough to get the help through Red Cross.
Right.
And we don't get denied for those for people that need it. My personal opinion is that we wait on to the 3rd one, see if it passes. I think it's a fantastic program when it's approved through state or volunteered through Red Cross or something, but when it has to come out of the city's money to provide residents something that they should feel important enough to keep the family safe and put in their own home.
Yeah, but if they did, there won't be a need for my department or the police department, and it's not really coming out of the general fund because, like my memo said, we brought in $5,450 through consumers through cost recovery, and also an extra $3,300 to the general fund through the 100 Club grant reimbursement. So, it's coming out of the general fund, but it's not adding to the debt or more money out of the budget.
No.
We put that money there. So.
No offense to you, Chief, it was different, Chief, but I've heard about money coming out of the general fund for the fire department that never got put back in the general
So
fund.
that was a different chief, and
Right.
we haven't had those issues, so.
Right. Yeah. No, you've been doing a great job, thank
And
you.
like I said, if you guys don't wanna fund the full thing like the memo said, if you guys are willing to do $1,900 this year and buy 72 of them, I'd be happy with that.
When are you expected to hear back on a 3rd application?
Not till summer,
Really?
yeah.
Is the time frame from when when the grant's written to a response take that long generally?
Yeah, a half month before we actually.
Sad thing is FEMA's probably got 2 Connex boxes sitting full of them somewhere, they don't even know it.
I don't disagree.
But I do, with the questions I asked, I do appreciate everything you guys do.
And there are cheaper options, but it's the same as the fire alarms. I don't like putting 9-volt alarms
Right.
in anywhere because they don't replace them. And we have free batteries. We have batteries we can give away for free that we got for free, but people won't reach out. You know?
These come with a 10-year
They're
lithium.
lithium, yeah, the same deal that you got in your house that we put in.
Yeah.
So.
I wish I found a box of those today. The CO2s.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for answering.
Yeah, just,
Chief, have you checked with any of the manufacturers if they have any programs?
Yep, KIDA does, it's called Operation Save a Life. The hiccup with them is you have to be affiliated with an ABC affiliate. I've been in the process of getting ABC 12 on board for the last 6 months and really didn't got anywhere. It's sad because there's really no money for them, it's just a matter of them giving KIDA more or less some free advertising. Wood TV 8 does it in Grand Rapids, and it's a great program because anybody in the viewership area, or any fire department in the viewership area can get free smoke alarms and free carbon monoxide alarms. But I don't know what the holdup is here. I've met with their marketing people, I've met with their vice president for here, and we haven't got there yet, so. And unfortunately, they have to do the reach out and a little bit of the legwork as far as.
That's what I seen on their website.
Yeah.
Would it help if our city manager would reach out?
I mean, I have a pretty good working relationship with most of the people at ABC 12. I mean, it might, but probably not. I mean, I don't know what the next step is.
Sorry to interrupt, Jeff.
Where were you purchasing the detectors from?
The cheapest price through the Home Depot, bulk guy, the same place that the state buys them through. So it's indirectly through Home Depot, but it's through their bulk process that you're purchasing.
And that's for roughly $25 an alarm?
Yeah.
And did you bid it out?
No, I did not bid it out.
The purchasing policy says that you should bid that out. The only reason I'm asking is because I just went online in Lowe's and Menards. You can buy them for $19 a piece, $15 a piece.
Same battery?
The plug-in, either lithium battery or the direct plug-in with the battery back. 10-year alarms.
How many was that you, for that price, how many homes would that service?
160.
Do you know how many homes need it? Ain't here in town?
probably all of
Probably
them.
500.
So after that burns up, are you gonna ask for more?
I mean, my intent honestly would be if we can, like I said, if we do the lesser amount, work it into my budget somehow, and not necessarily ask you for more money, but to do it continuously, yes. So that way we can make sure that we can provide the best safety we can to everybody. And, you know, and eventually, I mean, it's something, unfortunately, it would be continuous because, you know, if we can keep funding it, keep doing it, in 10 years, we're gonna have to go back to the first house we're gonna replace them, you know what I mean? So.
Vicious cycle.
I still, personally myself, don't think the city should fund it for the individual homes. I know it's a good program. You know, when it's funded by the state or the federal government, that's more what their job is. Not us as taxpayers to be funding it for the other people.
Anything else? Anyone else?
Well, I guess I would just say, if they were asking for it to come out of the general fund, so out of budgeted money, but the money that they're planning to use, though, is the cost recovery money. So that's money that, at the start of the budget year, we didn't have. It's through the work of the fire department. They have to turn those bills in and apply for that and wait for consumers and the insurance and stuff to pay them back. So, I mean, it's sort of like some places that the police department have drug forfeiture money that has to be used to show certain things. So, you know, if they want to use their money, they can use it, you know, that's the money that they generated to come back in. So that's where I'm at with that. But I'm kind of with Jeff too about, you know, trying to get cheaper avenues and bidding it out to get the cheapest that we can if we're going to do it.
Does drug forfeiture money go back to the general fund?
No, drug forfeiture money has to be spent on certain things and it stays at the police department. So the police bring that money in. So, and my thoughts are, if the fire department is bringing this money in, it doesn't come off of the tax roll, it doesn't come from anything else. It's like if your house caught on fire, every single person has a policy. So
Reimburses
that reimburses the fire department.
Correct.
And you pay that. So, and that's how they get this money back. And they work really hard to get all the cost recovery money they can from consumers, which a lot of other fire departments around here don't. And so we're lucky that we do. James takes the time to do that paperwork to get that money back. Because if not, you know how many times they sit out on wire calls, and like when this one over in the summertime happened and that power line was down for so long.
Anything else, sir? You all done, sir?
No, I'm good.
Jeff?
I want to touch on the cost recovery. It does come out of the budget. That cost recovery is money that we spent maybe in last year's budget that you're just now getting the money back for on some of those.
That's not true for us.
It does come out of the budget. And last meeting's memo from you talked about repair of vehicles, how the cost of that is going up. Well, this cost recovery money could help pay for the repair of these vehicles. What about squad? Is it in service right now?
Yeah.
But you have to jump it every time because there's a problem.
Yeah.
Get that vehicle in and get it fixed. You got $5,000 in cost recovery money, and you got a vehicle that needs to respond. You can't respond to a carbon monoxide detector if you don't have a vehicle that's not gonna start.
And it's not worth putting a bunch of money into.
You still gotta have it to respond. So until we can afford a new truck, you gotta get it fixed.
And as far as the cost recovery, that isn't years old money. It's generally consumers pays us within 60 days tops. And it's not dollar for dollar that's coming out because again,
60 days tops, I can go back in managers' reports and show where you showed that you were waiting on consumers for more than 60 days to get paid.
Yeah, when we had to do paperwork for them so that we could consider a vendor, but if you guys don't want to fund it, that's fine.
Hey, question, the cost recovery, can that be staged somewhere and utilized directly back to the fire department?
Like set into a different line item just specifically for fire department use? I suppose it could be. Couldn't be? Yeah, we could make a line item.
If there's an emergency in my house, I don't wanna have to wait for you to jumpstart a truck. I didn't know that.
We bought a jump box, so it's going to be a matter of 30 seconds, but
Right, 30 seconds.
it's not the first two. It's not the first two pieces of equipment.
Is that the bread truck?
Fires.
Yeah. I'd love to see that truck replaced.
Any other discussion? Okay. Call the roll, please.
I have a motion made by Councilmember Sorensen and seconded by Councilmember Lapp to approve resolution 20-03. Erwin,
No.
Raw,
No.
Sorensen,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
and Dunckel.
No. Motion fails. Okay, let's go to public comment.
I just know somebody don't really care about a light.
Anyone else? Yes.
You always say, I don't know, I don't know. And you told me a couple months ago or whatever that you were gonna come back with answers to those questions that I don't know, and you never do. You never come back with an answer that someone has asked you, and you say, I don't know. And I come up here every time because I wanna hear you answer some of them questions. And I don't know what the questions are, but
Well, hold on a minute. You don't know?
I don't know.
Lil, that's gonna be my default answer for the rest of my life if I don't know the answer. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but you should try to find the answer.
Okay.
And on the paying for this fireman thing, I agree with the gentleman that, Jeff and Mac, that we shouldn't take it out of the general fund or anything. I mean, I just invested $4,000 because I'm stupid, and someone that knocked on my door to sell me fire alarms with the lithium, yeah, Mac, I did, and all this fancy shit in my house, excuse me, in my house.
Laughing at her.
That I don't
So
really need,
disrespectful.
and I spent $4,000.
I gave you free ones.
They're laughing at a taxpayer.
They,
Resident.
the ones you buy from Menards, Home Depot, blah, 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 they showed me on films how many homes and people and children that have died because the smoke alarms didn't work. They bought the $30 or $40 ones, not me, I'm gonna buy the $4,000 ones, you know. So, if my husband was down here right now, you know what he'd do? Yep, he would.
As the city clerk laughs at her about it.
Anyone else?
The mayor, you can see he's somewhat
Okay, thank you for your
laughing
comments.
as well, laughing at her.
Yeah, council and staff comments. Amanda?
Nothing, thank you.
Jeff?
I will not be at the next two meetings. I will be out of town.
Steve?
Thanks.
Mac?
Nothing, thank you.
Sir?
I'm good.
Vicky?
No.
Christina?
I just wanna say something, because it bothers me every meeting, and I guess it's not right, but the public comment isn't for questions, it's a comment section. If you have questions, we're here all week long, and if you have a question for the mayor, we can report it to the mayor. I don't know if you guys don't know that, like if you guys used to run it differently, but it's public comment, it's not for questions. And that's why we're here on a daily basis. So if you have questions that you want answered, we're here. That's why we're here every day. So, that's all.
Awesome.
Chief? Yeah. I don't know, I'm deciding if I want to make a comment. Of course you do. Yeah. I'm not a legal scholar. I'm not even really a scholar as far as government goes, right? I'm at the biggest point that has some kind of working knowledge. Implore you, just like Kristina said, if you have a question that especially requires some kind of extensive knowledge, to come ask the people that are here 40 hours a week, that are in the thick of it. I'm sorry that I don't have the answers to your questions. I really do try to get those. But, you know, there's only so many hours in the day for me. And sometimes I don't find the answers to things that I say I will, and sometimes I do. But just want to let you know that there's another avenue, and probably even a better avenue than asking. Like with the footing for the houses, right? Like that's planning commission meeting, we went to one, and then the question didn't get asked. I was very surprised. I was like, hold on a second, well,
It
don't we
got
talk
shut
about
down,
that?
so I just figured don't talk about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's just an example, you know. But I bring this up because I want to say to you that I will try harder to find answers for you. So that's yeah. But I enjoy that we've got a regular crowd here, and I'm glad that you guys are involved in the community. Thankful to this committee up here and everybody that comes in and gives of their time, because like I said, we're all basically just volunteers here too, you know. So just keep that in mind, and everybody enjoy your evening.